The team sergeant was in the team room doing coke with his dudes. It's like they come in, they do PT, and it's like instead of drinking coffee, they line up and they do lines of coke, and that's how they started their day. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So who do you think is the most dangerous person on a Special Forces ODA? Right? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. I'm curious. Is it the 18 Bravo? Is it the Charlie, the Delta, the Alpha? Like, who do you think is the most dangerous person on the team? So last week, I was at the gym, I was working out, and I ran into a buddy of mine, right? We used to serve in the same company. I was on a different ODA, and he was right down the hallway in a separate ODA, right? I left, I went to SWIC, and eventually I retired. When I retired out of SWIC, he was still on that same Special Forces ODA. However, they had a change in leadership, right? Because every 18 or 24 months, you'll have changing of the guards, right? Like guys will, do their team sergeant time, their team leader time, and they'll leave. Your senior guys will go through, they'll do 4 to 5 years, and then they'll go to SWIC or they'll get changed to a team, they'll go to the B team, etc. Right? So I'm speaking with them. I'm like, hey man, like how is everything going? Where you at now? We're catching up. And I asked him, hey man, like how was your team sergeant? Because when I was on my way out, he had a new team sergeant coming in. And the shit that he told me blew my mind, right? He told me how the team sergeant, when he got to the team, he established a culture where taking drugs was, normal, right? He's talking about like, hey, the team sergeant was in the team room doing coke with his dudes. It's like they come in, they do PT, and it's like instead of drinking coffee, they line up and they do lines of coke, and that's how they started their day. And that blew my mind, right? Because at no point in time, my 15 plus years in special operation, have I ever heard something like that, right? Yes, you have guys that has their issues. You have guys that do dirt, right? But it's never as overt, and it's never a team effort, right? You have your onesies and twosies here and there, right? I'm guilty of doing dirt myself. So is some of my buddies. But it's always at the individual level, and there's always a voice of reasoning. So to hear that there was, a team sergeant and an entire team doing this blew my mind. Of course, minus him, right? He eventually left the team. And that led me to think, like, who is the single point of failure on a Special Forces team as far as the most influential and the most dangerous? And our answer is the Special Forces team sergeant. He is the most senior guy on the Special Forces team. And if he has a weak captain, then it's over, right? And if he's not a model citizen, if he doesn't have all the right traits to be able to mold those dudes and take them in the right direction, he can easily destroy the lives of those men. This is what I mean, right? You have a team sergeant that's a dirtbag. And you have a very young, influential team like I had, right? Like in 2019, when I took over my team, I want to say that my most senior guy had like 2 years on the Special Forces team. Now, I could have easily went in there, and if I was a dirtbag, all I was going to do was corrupt all those dudes and turn them into dirtbags. Because at no point in time were any of them going to say anything different, right? So that's how you got to think of it. That's how you got to see that situation. This segment is brought to you by Beret guys. I have several different products on there for you guys. I have a prep course if you're interested in going to Special Forces selection and assessment. Then I have the workout program that I put together for you guys, Body by Jay. While you're on there, guys, make sure you visit the Green Beret Chronicles shop where you have several different t-shirts, to include this one that I have on here right now, guys, along with the running and gunning one. And then you also have patches and stickers on there, all right? And then I also have the SFAS purchase list as far as things you can purchase from Amazon that's going to help you out at SFAS. I will link all of that below for you guys, all right? And again, the last two are free, my gift to you to help you get selected. With all that said, guys, let's get back to the episode. That team sergeant position is so influential to where if you don't have a group of senior dudes within that team to keep that team sergeant in check or to keep that captain in check, and if he's a dirtbag, he's an addict, whatever, he can easily take those guys and put them through the ringers and make their life worse, right? When you're at the team level, you think it's all cool. You think guys are just doing guy shit, hookers and blow and all that crap, but eventually guys are going to get addicted. Guys are going to start acting up, and it's going to lead to bigger issues. All right. So yeah, man, it blew my mind, and I just wanted to, come on here and do a segment on it because as the team sergeant, you got to understand the responsibilities and the powers that you have. Because I always preach that when I had my team, it was like I had a bunch of pit bulls and I had that leash, right? I can release them at any time, but it was also my job to pull that leash tight and keep those guys safe, right? And I want to put it in a perspective that, you guys, the viewer, can understand, especially if you're a mother, a father, a brother, which we all are at some point, right? We all have kids or we all have, brothers or sisters that served in the military. I want you to ask yourself this. Would you feel comfortable letting your kids serve under your leadership, right? If you're currently a team sergeant, a team guy, whatever, would you feel comfortable? Because those same guys that are lined up doing coke and all sorts of shit in the team with you, essentially ruining their lives, they're somebody's kids. They're somebody's brothers, right? So keep that in mind as you take these young minds into your hand and you're molding them and shaping them as a team sergeant, right? Guys, I just wanted to come on here and deliver that message because that shit blew my mind, man. Took me back a little bit because the guy that he was talking about, I didn't expect that from them. But then that truly goes to show you how well you really know somebody, right? So yeah, guys, again, to my newer guys going into this, stepping into that team room, keep in mind, just because everybody else is lined up doing coke and all this dumb shit, you don't have to. You have a word, right? You have a voice. Just because the entire team is doing it doesn't mean that you should be doing it too, right? You entered this process with a set of characters, with a set of morals. All that shit needs to stay intact as you go through this entire process, right? Guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Until next time, take care of yourself.